Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back. We're starting the week inshallah with a very easy lesson. So as you can see, my board says inequalities. So I'm hoping that you remember from 5th grade what your inequality symbols are. This symbol right here is read as greater than, and then reversed it's less than. And basically what it means, because sometimes kids confuse which way is it open and which number, how do I read the inequality? If it's greater than, that means the number on the left-hand side is greater than the number on the right. And when it's reversed, the less than means whatever number is sitting on the left is less than the number on the right. Now the other two are greater than or equal to, and then less than or equal to. That underline on it, or that line right below this inequality, basically shows an equality. So it can meet one of the two conditions and it will still be a true statement. So how do we put it into practice? Let me turn you around to the other board. And here we go. So the first problem is there for you. And it says, is the given value a solution? And they'll give you an example and then they'll give you a numerical value. So for right here, it says 5 plus m is less than or equal to 23. And then it gives you a value of m. Go ahead and substitute it, do the math, prove it to me, whether it's a yes or no statement, or rather true or false. And then your final answer should be yes or no. So for this one right here, first thing, 5 plus the value of m given was 14. Go ahead and substitute it. It's less than or equal to 23. Next step, 5 plus 14 is 19. It's less than or equal to 23. So go back to the statement. 19 is less than or equal to 23. It is less than, but it's not equal to 23, and that's okay as long as it meets one of the two conditions. So in this case, 19 is less than or equal to 23. That's true. So we say yes. And that's what I want to see, a yes or no, guys. But I do need to see every step of the way. All right. Next example. Let's go ahead and do x minus 17 is greater than 42. And in this problem, they're going to give you x is equal to 59. So go ahead and substitute and do your math. 59 minus 17 is greater than 42. And if you take 59 minus 17, you should end up with 42. So in this case, 42 is greater than 42. We know that that is not true. So one thing I need to see in your workout is that you put the backslash. That backslash through that inequality says that it's not a true statement. So our final answer here is no. Okay? So let's do a couple of more examples and then let's see how it works for real world problems. So I'm going to set up two examples, guys. I want you to go ahead and stop the video. I know that I keep on asking that. Stop the video just so you can practice it on your own and then check your own workout. And if you don't want to, that's okay too, just as long as you're learning. So the next problem, it's going to be h minus 12 is less than negative 9. And for your variable, h is going to equal to 2. The next example is going to be 33 is greater than or equal to 17 plus g, and g is going to be 16. So at this point, for those of you that are, attempting on your own to solve it and have the extra practice and then check your answer, go ahead and stop the video. Those of you that just continue, you're going to continue with me. So for the first problem, guys, 2 minus 12 is less than or equal to 9. You're going to have to go back to chapter 2 and remember integer addition, subtraction, division, multiplication rules. So in this case, if you have 2 minus 12, the 2 is positive. The 12, we're subtracting 12 from it. So it's the difference between a positive and a negative number, so to speak. So remember, find the difference. The difference is 10. The 12 has the negative sign with it. So it's negative 10 is less than negative 9. So now the inequalities that deal with negatives, the greater the inequality, the lesser value it has. So is negative 10 less than negative 9? Yes. Sometimes kids mistake that. I know that on a number line, maybe we can see it better, and eventually that's going to come into our lessons. But you've also got to remember, where would the placement of negative 10 be on a number line? So in this case, negative 10 is less than or equal, less than negative 9. So this answer right here is yes. The next one, 33 is greater than or equal to 17 plus g. So let's go ahead and substitute. 33 is greater than 17 plus 16. 33 is greater than or equal to 33. Look at that statement. 33 is greater than or equal to 33. Well, we know it's not greater, but it does meet the condition of being equal to. So therefore, as long as it meets one of them, then it's considered to be a true statement. And in this case, 33 is equal to 33, so therefore it meets that condition. Final answer here is yes. Okay, so the lesson for the most part is pretty easy. Now, how do we apply it to real world problems? I'm going to come back to this board, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put your word problem on there. I've already got it ready. Just give me a second to go ahead and just erase so it doesn't go through the paper and you don't get confused about what is written in the word problem. Here we go. So in the real world, let's say, for example, my word problem right here, a state park recorded the number of cars entering the park on certain days last week. On which days did at least 65 cars enter the park? Use the inequality C is greater than or equal to 65, where C represents the number of cars, to solve. So in order for you to solve, use that inequality. So what do we do, guys? You've got the table right here. You got the day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You got the number of cars. So obviously the inequality that they want us to use is C is greater than or equal to 65. You can go ahead and substitute it if the visual gives you, more, like if it helps you more when you visualize the inequality, that's a good thing. So here we go for this one. And we are using C is greater than or equal to 65. So for Monday, 45 is greater than or equal to 65. So when you see that 45 is greater than or equal to 65, we know that it is not greater and we know that it is not equal. So in this case, this is a no. We go ahead and put that backslash, right? On the next one, 65 is greater than or equal to 65. That is a true statement because it is at least equal to. It might not be greater, but it's equal to, so that's a yes. The next one, 72 is greater than or equal to 65. Well, we know it is greater, but we know that it's not equal. And like I said, as long as it meets one of the two conditions, that's okay. So far, Wednesday is also okay. And then the last one, 60 is greater than or equal to 65. We know that that's not true, so don't forget, put your backslash through it. And that basically now reads 60 is not greater than or equal to 65. So what is the yeses that we said to? We said yes to Tuesday and yes to Wednesday. So some of these word problems, guys, can have more than one answer. Don't just look, okay, let me find the, what I can mentally think of. Go back to the inequality. Make sure that you're reading it, especially if you're forgetting about that line drawn on the bottom, it's going to be a problem for you. So in this case, our final answer for this problem would be Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'm hoping, and I know that for this class, that you found this lesson to be very easy. So I know that in the comments, some of you all said, Missy Dan, maybe if you can lighten the work a little bit. Well, with this problems, or with this lecture, this is a very short lecture. You do have a worksheet to do. Just pay attention to the numbers that I'm asking you to do so you don't get overwhelmed. There are some, all the questions are there, but I'm asking you, do from this number to that number so it's not overwhelming. And hopefully you find this lesson very easy and you'll get a good grade, inshallah. Make sure that you are answering the attendance question on time and that you're submitting your work on time. I'll see you Monday, inshallah. Take care, and I'm hoping you have a good weekend. I'm recording this before we go into weekend because I'm moving, guys. So I will see you Monday, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.